Hello, welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a very important one that resonates deeply with my heart, which is 5 common hair myths when it comes to using hair straighteners, straightening your hair regularly, or getting silk presses regularly, being a straight hair natural, because there are a lot of myths floating around. A lot of those myths have been debunked, but either way, I want to talk about it because I've been on this hair journey for a long time. And as somebody who's been on this hair growth journey, healthy hair journey for a really long time, I know that a lot of these misconceptions, if you don't have any extra context to compare it against, can really interact and mess with your hair routine and mess with your journey. And I want you guys to have a great journey. So let's get into this. Myth number 1, straightening your hair will cause hair damage. Okay, let's tackle the elephant in the room. The myth that straightening your hair will ruin your curl pattern and make it so that your hair will never revert and your hair will be damaged is absolutely wild. I'm not ignoring the fact of science that excessive heat, excessive repeated heat will or can cause a alteration in your curl pattern, the integrity of your strands, and the overall look and feel of your hair. Yes, the science is there, but this does not have to be a fact for every single person. And if you do not want this to be a fact for you, simple protection and preparation. Great heat protection and great preparation of the hair can make it so you can safely, and I've been talking about this forever, you can safely use heat on your hair and have fun with it and have great, long, flowing, beautiful, healthy, strong hair for a really long time. You just need to know what you're doing and what to avoid. There is no reason why anybody in 2025 should be so petrified still of using a hair straightener, especially if you really want to use a heat tool and the only reason you don't is because you've been told this myth that it'll ruin your curl pattern and ruin your hair and cause heat damage. It's not true. Just know how to carefully prepare your hair and protect it. Because if you're taking care of your hair and straightening your hair, your curls will always bounce back. Number 2, you can only straighten your hair if it's heat trained. Like what? What on earth does that even mean? You can only straighten your hair if it's heat trained. Anybody can straighten their hair. Hey, using these hair tools that these companies have put so much money and science and research into, it's not meant only for one specific type of hair or hair that's only already been altered by heat. You can have 100% virgin hair, and by virgin, I mean like no color treated, no chemical treated, heat's never touched it. And for the first time, that person is getting heat applied to their hair. So their hair is virgin hair and they're getting heat for the first time. Their hair can still look great. You don't need to have heat trained hair in order to get that silky smooth, super straight, bone straight look. And you do not need to train your hair, as in repeatedly straighten your hair in order for it to keep staying straight for longer durations of time. You do not need to compromise on the texture and integrity of your hair in order to enjoy versatile hairstyles. And I use heat regularly, consistently all throughout the year for many years. I would not consider myself heat trained. I think that for me, at least, my personal opinion, I think that my hair has maintained its integrity and has maintained its shape. I know my curl pattern. It's not super coily, kinky hair. It has more of a wave to it. And I see that wave bounce back every single time I wash my hair after it's been straightened. So I know my integrity hasn't been compromised by me using heat. Or what I think the goal of heat training is to repeatedly use heat on your hair and loosen up the elasticity of the curl pattern. So over time, it's less curly. There's less tightness. So it falls a little bit more. It's more wavy. And over time, it goes from curly to wavy to almost like a limp straight. I wouldn't suggest intentionally trying to do that to yourself in order to use heat tools or in order to think you need to get a silkier, straighter finish look, a finished result. I think you can just prep your hair really, really well and take your time, and you can still get that same result and have your curls still be bouncy and juicy and full of elasticity. Number 3, there's also this myth that natural hair cannot handle excessive heat or cannot handle being straightened. It cannot handle heat styling, as in natural hair is weak or it's fragile. I'm telling you one thing, my hair is not weak, it's not fragile. Your hair, regardless of the hair that you may think you have or the hair that you see you have the ability, no matter what, no matter who you are, to have really great, strong hair that you can use freely, strong hair that you can style with versatility, and do it fun and do it without being scared. Your hair is strong. Your hair has the ability to be strong. Your hair has the ability to be manipulated and bounce back. It does. Do not sit there with the misconception thinking my hair's too weak, it's too brittle, it's too thin, it's too fragile. No, do what you need to do in order to strengthen it back up. Proper prep, proper care, and you can do what you want to do with heat. And I understand like the fear or the misconception that natural hair can't handle heat because our hair may break off more. It's just simply not true. Number 4, I can't even say this one without laughing. Number 4, straightening your hair too often will make it fall out or break. Let's set the record straight. Straightening your hair alone will not be the sole cause of your hair falling out, will not be the sole cause of your hair breaking. There are, and I've mentioned this quite a few times before on my channel, heat is not the only way you can damage your hair. You can damage your hair from protective styles. You can damage your hair from incorrect styling, from incorrect manipulation, from over manipulating your hair, from incorrect products, from chemicals. Things like that can damage your hair, can weaken the integrity of your hair. It's not just heat. Heat gets a bad rap. Everybody blames all their hair products on heat. I went to the salon, I got my hair done, and I come out and I have heat damage. Is it the heat's fault, or perhaps the stylist didn't do proper techniques in order to prepare your hair to keep the integrity and the strength and avoid that damage from the heat? It's poor hair practices, having a poor hair care routine that will cause your hair to be damaged, that will cause your hair to fall out. And this is why it's so important to make sure you're keeping up with your wash days, not trying to stretch your wash days too long, not overwashing your hair, not overstripping your hair, making sure you're balancing the moisture with protein, making sure you're deep conditioning, making sure you're knowing when you may need something a little bit more strengthening or bonding or repairing, making sure you're detangling very, very gently, using a wide tooth comb, knowing when to use your fingers, not overdoing it with hair dyes or not overdoing it with chemical processing treatments, not doing super tight styles or repeated tight styles, or pulling on the scalp, pulling on the root, leaving the hair untamed, unwrapped, letting it go wild and free to the point where it's getting tangled or being exposed to a lot of friction, causing frizz, causing a lot of just a ruffling of the cuticles, making them raise up, and then we end up with tangles, and we end up with those single strand knots, we end up with those fairy knots, and they're not easy to get out sometimes, or we're not taking enough time to get them out, and then we're pulling our hair, and then it's just so easy to say it's the heat's fault. It's not the heat's fault. Let's take great accountability when it comes to our hair care routines. The same way everyone's really, really big on having great skin this year. Everybody wants great skin this year. Everyone can also have really, really great hair this year. Take action. You are in control of your hair health. Myth number 5 is that you can't keep your hair straightened in humid conditions. This is one of the ones where a little bit of science does come into effect. If you are, like if it's midsummer and it is very, very hot, it's very, very humid, and it's consistently very, very humid, your hair, as a result, is just going to swell up a little bit. Your cuticles are going to get opened up and raised. There's going to be maybe more frizz, a lot more chances of your hair reverting back to its natural texture just from the amount of extra humidity in the air. Doesn't mean you can't fix that. There's things you can do to touch up your silk press, touch up your straightened hair. There's things you can do to prevent your hair from ever even reverting. I don't want to say hide away all summer, because we all need to have some fun this summer. Maybe consider then not trying to go for a super bone straight look. Embrace a little bit of wave, embrace a little bit of body, go for a more blowout effect rather than like a pin straight, bone straight look. So you're still having that straightened effect, but a little bit more versatility to it. And that way you can embrace if your hair is starting to look a little less straight and you don't need to panic so much. So there you have it, my 5 common myths about straightening kinky, coily, curly, wavy hair. Debunked. Like, do not let these myths, do not let these rumors, do not let any of this negativity stop you from having great hair and styling your hair the way you want it. I'm always going to say it forever and ever. Do not be afraid of heat. Embrace it. Embrace whatever you want to do with your hair. Just learn how to do it properly and continue to give your hair the love and care that it needs. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell, and I will see you in the next video. Peace out.